Hello, I'm an urban worker and we're here for another layout update. We have a lot of things to get through, so let's get to it. We've got new locomotives, new freight cars, and even a wide variety of interesting 3D prints from both the real world and science fiction. So follow along on our magical adventure while I give you this wonderful layout update. Alright, we're over here in Esquina and I want to show you a couple of really cool things. So first off, we've got this lovely little cart that I kit-baffed from something that one of my modeler friends gave me. I painted and weathered it to match an actual cart that I found in Sonora in the 60s. So that adds a little bit of old world flavor amongst the more modern automobiles, which I think is a very important thing, especially in a country like Mexico in the 1960s. The other thing is I went back through and did a bunch of beautiful scenery in the backyards and tightened them up because of the classic photo curve vista we have here. I wanted to make sure that this is also finely cohesive and I can zoom out a little bit more from the tighter shots that you guys are used to in the run-bys and such. So now we have multiple points along the layout that we can stage run-bys, which I'm pretty excited about. So as I wanted to do from the beginning, start spilling this scenery from this corner in Esquina all the way out and down the layout in both directions, instead of piecemeal doing small scenes all around the layout. So let's talk about what happened in these backyards. First of all, we made a mesquite smoker situation here. I added a little smoke jack to this cute little thing, painted up a door. There's a cat on the roof. There's mesquite cordwood along the side of the building and chickens. I also made a chicken wire gate so they don't fly out of the backyard here. I also did an interesting new technique that I think you guys would get a kick out of. It uses a very old school technique mixed with some new materials. So what I ended up doing was taking some lichen, dipping it in matte medium, and then flocking it with the new knock leaves, which works fantastic, especially with the dark brown dyed lichen. You get this very fine branch structure, and then you're able to flock it with things that actually look like leaves. It's, I think, a perfect 1-2 punch to really make a very nice small bush for a fraction of the cost of some of the more expensive ready-made items. So I have this spill up and along this wall. You can see the goat is eyeing, wanting to eat it. I also put some in the backyard in the far corners of the schoolyard where they wouldn't be running around as much. So telling a little bit of story, environmental storytelling with this backyard. I also scratch built this little garden gate based off of a picture I found in Guaymas. So now that is actually like very much centric to the area I'm modeling, which came together nicely. This is actually just a piece of a white metal casting of a door from Woodland Scenics, and then I framed it all out with scale lumber. I painted and weathered this lovely slide and custom painted the children to match the country, obviously, since they're not little white German children. So I wanted to retone them so that they actually fit in with the region of Mexico. So the other thing I did was painstakingly scratch build this little soccer goal pitch. And so I took probably the most expensive material I have, which is an Alchem Scale Models chain link fence kit, and cut it into this shape and then carefully added styrene framing to the outside of it, and it took a while to dry. It was very fiddly, and so I wanted to get it just right. So I managed to find some period photographs of what, you know, school soccer pitches in Mexico in the 60s kind of looked like. So I used that as a guideline or a goalpost, I suppose, for what I was doing. I then came in and flocked the entire backyard with weeds and shrubbery where the kids probably were not running around as much, and that came together very nicely. Now, next we've got a cool little building. I scratch built this gas station, and you can see in this inset shot, it has a full interior, a bathroom, and everything. This is all out of strip styrene. You don't necessarily need to endlessly hunt for a building kit that might not be a perfect fit for you. It is actually quite easy and fun to just do it yourself out of strip styrene and clear acetate you find from packaging material. So I did that in an afternoon or two, and it was very fun and very satisfying. There will eventually be this beautiful thin shell concrete apron and cover that will be for the gas station, which will have a gas station island with accurate 1960s Pemex pumps, and should look really cool. It's based off of a design by famous Mexican architect Felix Candela. So I'm really excited to put that in there, and we'll experiment with scale, fluorescent tubing, and a bunch of other interesting things. So that's to come. I still need to pave the apron to join these two scenes together. I already just added a little bit of apron material here with a little extra sculpted mold to unify the shrimp restaurant. I'm still working on the signs. I can't wait to see how those come together. We need that big plastic shrimp and neon sign thing going on there, so I'm very excited. We're also working on the plaza. We've got a couple of designs that we're kicking back and forth, and one of the things I want to experiment with is an inset that I can lay down that shows it during a market day where they have all the stalls, where they sell all sorts of goods, fresh fruits and vegetables, antiques and durable goods and such. And then I can lift this out, and then it can be a normal everyday plaza with normal people just milling around and such. So we'll stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a very fun little project. Work continues on the bar. No major progress other than just a light weathering pass, but I will eventually put a full interior in this, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's take a closer look over here. Over here we've got a little shelter. This is a temporary one. This is from Mr. Potter's That 70s Layout. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it, because it's a very heartwarming video. I'm just using this as a stand-in, but eventually I'll be scratch building a Mission Revival style stucco shelter for the interurban line, which this is the interurban line. This was the original 1870s Sonoran Railway right-of-way, which was then sold to the interurban to connect Guaymas and Palme. So we'll eventually scratch build this in a future video, so you'll be able to see that. And we'll paint it up, weather it light, put a bunch of neat little details in there to really bring it to life. And the most interesting part that we've been working on is a major swath of scenery here. This will be the car barn for the Ferrocarril Urbanas de Aurora, which is our interurban. And so we've got our line. This is the main line that goes off to interchange. And this is a maintenance of way set-out track for incoming parts and ballast and other materials. This is a line that connects it with the diesel locomotive backshops at the Alta, but it also is a lead for the car barn, which will sit right here, and should be a very nice 1920s zigzag Art Deco design here, which will be able to fit the trams inside. I still need to cut material to fill and pave in between these tracks, and there will be a very cool little maintenance bay using the Pico maintenance bay track pieces. So that's really fun. I'm in the middle of working on it right now. This is a temporary ballasting job. I just put this down, so I'm going to start blending it in with dirt and weeds and other things to match the prototype sidings in Palme and Guaymas. So this is very fun to see another swath of the layout have some scenery on it, and I'm really looking forward to it. The other scenic element we'll have right here will be a bunch of retired tram bodies. To be decided which types of trams I will put there, but right now these Mahano IHC trams will make a wonderful stand-in. This is actually the first tram I have ever owned in my life, which I was given to me by my parents as a kid, and I've just kept it ever since. So I don't think it'll be part of this deadline, but I want to eventually do something with it that'll be a nice send-up to it. Anyways, so in the intervening months, we've had a lot of progress. Okay, one of my friends sent me these beautiful 3D prints from Australia. Most of these are actual props from Fallout 4, the video game. So right here we have one of these beautiful forklifts they modeled. This is a lovely refrigerator, which has all of the condenser coils beautifully modeled on the back of it. And these are not 3D game asset files. These are custom done by my friend in Australia, which they did an amazing job. And obviously they all arrived as undecorated, and now they're custom painted. This Nuka-Cola vending machine was one of the most fun ones to paint and bring to life with the glowy screen. This is an ice dispenser that you'd find at a gas station, and it also has back detail, which I'm very smitten with. A rather fun and exotic pair here, we've got one of the tractors from Fallout 4 done up in cracked red paint, which I'm very pleased with how that came out. The fineness of the detail of this print is exceptional. And of course, you can't beat the ridiculous giant Electrolux street sweeper model, and this matches the game art from the game art book. Up next is something any Fallout 4 player will recognize, the fusion core generator, which is just an immaculate and beautiful model. This matches the game art as well in both weathering and color, which I really wanted to do, and I'm just smitten with how beautiful it is. Now, here we go. This isn't just from Fallout 4. This is a pair of Corvegas, the fictional car brand from Fallout 4. This one is from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, and this one is from Fallout 4. One of the cool things about this one is it's kind of a nod to the DL109 diesel locomotive with the triple windshield, which is a very nice little design touch that screams 1950s retro. Next, we've got this GMC Cannonball-esque fusion-powered cab-over truck, which is also a staple of Fallout 4. These are also modeled in their Apocalypse version with the flat tires. I'm working with them to do inflated tire like new versions as well, which should be pretty exciting. And finally, we have the Ultimate Beast, which is their twin-steer 4-axle bus. Now, this is actually based off Prototype, fascinatingly enough, but obviously turned into a Fallout asset with the addition of, GMC fishbowl details and what have you. So it's just a wonderful piece of believable science fiction. Finally, Jay gave me this wonderful quartet of 3D printed steps to add to the passenger station scene, which I can't wait to pose on the layout for whenever the passenger trains come in. Thanks as always to my patrons. Every dollar of your support gives me time to spend editing these videos for you to enjoy. Right now, we've got Alta California Railway mugs and tote bags available for patrons. Check them out in the links below. This has been An Urban Era. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.